Hey folks, just working on the car here again, and I'm finally mating it to the frame. There's been a bit of progress that didn't get recorded because my phone's been loaded up, but well, like I say, I'm just mating it to the frame. So I cleared all of the old floor pan seams and such by grinding out the spot welds and then grinding back. So you can see each spot here was a spot weld, and I use a grinder to do that by grinding back until I just about hit base metal. You don't want to grind too deep. Like here I've got a gouge from some work I did earlier, and I'll have to repair that. But as you can see, not real well on that one, but like on this one over here, you can see most of the spot welds. So I just take a grinder and I grind that spot in the metal until the metal around it turns cherry red or bright red. And then I go down and grind the next one, and then the next one, and then I take a little chisel and get behind there and tear it, and it'll just tear like a sheet of paper once you get it thin enough. And then you just clean up the spots. But I got rid of any of the rust that was on here, wire brushed it out. A knotted flat wire brush works best for getting rid of the seam sealer. You always want to get rid of as much of the seam sealer and these tar patches and stuff as you can, because that stuff is super flammable. So it will light up as you're grinding and it will light up as you're welding. So you want to get that out of your workspace real well. So like up here, we've got all this glop in there. That's far enough away. Unless I get a really hot berry jumping up there, I don't need to worry about that. But everything along the rocker panels I removed. But I'm just lining up now for my height and fitment. And so because I'm welding my rocker panels to my angle iron frame, what I did is I clamped a plate to the bottom of my angle iron and then stacked some blocks. So this gives me 5 inches of gap. I originally planned on going 4, but I decided to give 1 inch extra so that the side pipes have a little more space. And then I'm using another clamp to pull in the edge weld so that I can weld that up. And so then I'll take a hammer and dolly and hammer out that edge along there so that it fits real nice to the angle iron, and then I'll weld a bead both inside and outside on that to make the body part of the frame. So since it started life as a unibody, I'm building it out as a unibody. But you can kind of start to see the car coming together here as I mate things up, but I always like to clamp everything, and like in this case, I had clamped everything with the blocks and such, and put my seat in there and started to find fit and feel of where everything was going to be. And I realized I wanted to raise the body another inch, not just for the side pipes, but for headroom and such. Because in order to get enough leg room in the rear seat, I need to put the front seat forward just a little bit further. And when I put the front seat forward, your head starts getting close to the T-top bar. And so blah, blah, blah. When you're sitting in the seat position of a pickup truck, or almost similar to a cube van or a minivan in here, I actually needed more headroom because I needed a full 48 inches and I only had 46. So by moving a couple of things around and raising the body that other inch and sliding it backward another 3 inches from where I had planned on, I can get the proper fit and feel that I want. So that's something else for you guys to consider, is never weld anything until you've had a chance to sit in the seat in a position where you figure you're going to be. Make sure that you check that fit and feel and look out the windshield and make sure that you've got the line of sight that you want and such. Because once you weld things, it's really hard to go back and figure out, oh shit, I needed an extra 2 inches or 3 inches here or there. So that's kind of my suggestion. I'm using these wheel carts that you use for moving cars around to set my frame on. And then I've got an overhead winch that I hung the body on in order to set it down on here. So if you don't have all of that, a cherry picker could lift this body pretty okay, because it's only about 500 pounds, maybe even a little less than that. But anyways, that's my current progress here. I'm going to get this all pulled in, and I'm probably not going to weld it tonight. I'll take a look at it again in the morning just to make sure that I don't have something in the wrong place, because I'm awful tired tonight. But I wanted to shoot a video because I haven't been videoing much of this progress lately, because I've just been out of time, out of memory on my phone, and just out of patience. Sometimes shooting the videos takes some of the fun out of my evening, but I definitely want to keep you guys in the loop and keep you viewing. Thank you for watching.